This one test generated around $1.1 million in annual incremental revenue with a 96% statistical significance, and how this you can copy this test for your own brand, even the research part as well. So let me dive into it, and I hope you enjoy the video. Before we are running any A/B tests, we have to do the research. Let me talk about the research part first, and then we can jump into other aspect as well. So how did this happen, aka how to do research? So if we can think about the research, there are only two characteristics or two ways that you can do research. One is quantitative research and one is qualitative research. The qualitative research is basically what customer do on your website, and the qualitative research means customer that say about your website. Let's talk about the quantitative research for now and see how things go from there. So the quantitative research is basically like heat map, Google Analytics, and screen recording. Like what are the behaviors of your customers when they land on your website, and how you can use those behavior to find the leaks on the website, that is funnel analysis, path analysis, and anything that you can think of using behavior analysis. Now, if we talk about the qualitative research, which is basically what customers say about your website, that can be done with the review analysis, that can be done with the surveys, that can be done with reading ads creatives, that can be reading customer comments on running ads, like content and messaging review, and also competitors analysis using their reviews for your own benefits as well. So, but in this video, we will talk about the surveys, and in the surveys, we will talk about on-site surveys, which will be the most critical part of this. And at the end of the video, we will talk about what kind of A/B tests we did, what are the before, what are the after version as well. So we do run run three kind of surveys, which is email surveys, which will be 90 days, which will be sent to 90 days using Klaviyo, 90 days past purchaser. The other type of survey is post purchase surveys, which will be on thank you page, and an on-site survey, which will be on-site survey was basically on the website. Sorry for this typo. Let's forget about this thing. So let's talk about the on-site surveys for now, because the idea that came for this A/B test was from the on-site surveys. So on-site survey will be on the website. Forget about this thing. It will be on the whole website if they spend 50 seconds on the website without making any events or anything like that. Now the question arises: what kind of questions I should be asking from the surveys to get the most out of it? Because you will not have options available. If you don't ask the right questions, you don't have the right information available. So there will be two questions, only two questions, not asking so many questions from them. So the first question will be, what information about our canvas? This was a canvas art project we are working on. So we asked them what information about canvas art would help you decide to buy from us faster. That's number one question. And the second question was, is there anything about this site that doesn't work the way you expect it to be? This is the second question. Once you run these surveys, you will have to wait for at least 500 responses to have a basic statistically significant data. Once you have that, you will write the observations. And one of those observations we noted is the size uncertainty and visualization gaps. This is one of the important part we found out, and how you can tackle this down as a CRO strategist. The question was, many users ask, what size is this? Can you get a smaller one? I need to view on my wall. Will it fit in my room? Customers are confused or hesitate because they cannot visualize how the canvas will look in their space. This friction creates a drop-off, especially for the mobile user who can't estimate the dimension easily. We have this idea in pipeline. This was already in my visual. Look, we actually do visual audit, and I knew that something is wrong in the sizing chart. So we have this idea in the pipeline. We will add images and reference to the variant so customer can easily visualize. This was what I wrote to the customer. The research was presented to the client or the stakeholders. So before, it was something like this. It was size 10 by 10, this thing, and then the size, once you click on the size guide, but it was another extra step for the customers to find out what are the sizes, how it will look with my sofa, how it will look with the wall. So we wanted to do something different. So that can bring, because this doesn't follow any CRO best practices, so we wanted to move forward with that. So the first variation was this one, in which we added images, like small image, big image, and then added a best popular selection as well, because we look into the data. You can always see the data behind that, like which variation is the most selling one. Then you can write labels on it, like this is the most popular one. So that will help the customers. This variation we did. And then if you talk about this variation, this was the tiles ones. I wanted to do something, because if your client or your website has a good amount of traffic, there is no way that you can run an experiment if you're not doing multivariate tested. That will really be, you're losing money on the table, and you don't want to do that. So let's see how things go. we did an experiment and increase in the conversion rate by this, revenue per visitor by this, and then profit per visitor by this, and average order value this. If you check here, we have 96, the tile ones, which is this one, won up to 96% statistically significant. So I hope you learn anything. And if you want to talk about conversion rate optimizations, please book a call in the bio. Yeah, thank you.